What's up, guys? I'm Combat Craig. Been a while. Hopefully, my zoomed in new camera isn't too high res for you. Tell your truth, win your VA claim. That's the topic of tonight's discussion. If you're new, say hi and hi back, and thanks for your support. Uh, Getting pretty close to rolling past 16,000 subscribers on the channel. I should probably check and see. I know we're pretty damn close to it. So that's awesome. Don't want to get too caught up here in this. Yep, pretty close. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Let's get over during this live cast. If you have a question, type a Q in front of it, so I know you have a question for me. And then feel free to throw it in a super chat, and then it'll pop up on the screen, and I won't miss it. So, how's everybody doing? Hope we had some good news with our claims and all that kind of stuff this past week. Basically, I'm just going to kind of talk about filing a VA claim, just some of my observations, Combat Craig edition, and then we'll go through some questions and stuff like that. So that is the format, and let's start off. Simple truth number one. Make your claim easy to approve. Don't just file a claim and say shoulder pain, right? Or knee pain down here. This happens a lot. You may have this in your records. You may have done this or made this mistake. Don't make this mistake anymore. Oh yeah, look what I found. Oh, I wonder if I could zoom in. You remember these? It's a flip phone. It's so cute. Oh, it kind of zooms in pretty good, huh? Anyway, yeah, don't just file a claim and put shoulder pain. You're going to need to elaborate. I saw stuff like this in my records, and no wonder I lost. You're not descriptive at all, Which shoulder? What part of the shoulder? What kind of pain is it? Where did the pain come from? It all comes down to being service connected. You're filing a VA disability claim to get service connection. So if you cannot establish service connection, you're just going to lose. You're wasting your time, the VA's time. Like if you can't figure it out, educate yourself, throttle it back. It's more important to do this right than it is to do it quickly. I know you might get motivated and all that kind of stuff, but don't rush this. You're just going to cause yourself pain, and you're going to, be in the appeals process in a world of hurt. So you're going to need to provide a diagnosis of shoulder pain, right? That means from a medical doctor. You are not a medical doctor. You do not diagnose yourself. You're a moron, layman, veteran, like myself. So, owie on shoulder. Do better than that. Explain left shoulder, right shoulder. If it's a rotator cuff thing, or whatever your condition is, elaborate as much as possible, and you will in your personal statement. And also, you should be filing a personal statement for every disability that you file a claim for. But on the other side of that, you need a doctor backing your ass up. So you need a diagnosis. If you have one from the VA, that might work. Service treatment records, that might work. Better to get a private doctor to diagnose you. Boom, diagnostic code, rotator cuff tear, X amount of millimeters, whatever, got the diagnosis on lock. Then you need to address or have your doctor address the severity of your symptoms. This is where your rating comes from. Orthopedic conditions are lowball claims, but let's say you're going for 0% or 10% or maybe 20 max. Being able to explain and articulate the doctor on your behalf, not you, how this affects you and all that kind of stuff, it correlates over to a rating. So keep that in mind. Your doctor is going to need to diagnose you. It's going to need to document the severity of your symptoms. This is where the DBQs come in. And then equally important, or probably most important, they're all important, you need to establish service connection. If you roll out of bed one day and you're like, oh shit, I've been out for 20 years. I can file a VA claim, get some free money. Perfect. I'm going to launch that thing. Go get my free money. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. If you do not provide a nexus link between your current symptoms and diagnosis of shoulder pain and your active duty service? Loser. Can't put it up there, right? It's just you're going to lose. No nexus, no compensation. It's called supporting medical evidence. It's objective medical evidence. You have a doctor weighing in. When you're speaking about your problem, that is considered subjective medical evidence. In some cases, like tinnitus, kind of migraines, kind of mental health, there's a lot of ones that are subjective in nature. And you can, bolster yourself and set yourself up. But with an orthopedic condition, it comes down to MRIs, CT scans, diagnosis. Are you seeing an orthopedic surgeon? Who's the guy that's diagnosing you or the girl? So supporting medical evidence, you got to have it. It's stupid not to have it. You're going to lose. The doctor is clutch. This is the entire enchilada. Get him. Okay, so where do I get him? In most cases, you're not going to get them at the VA is not going to provide this doctor for you. Obviously, you've been out of the service, so service treatment records, those are useless. So you're going to have to pay money, cash money. Why cash? It's not covered by insurance. So you have a shoulder condition, right? He's an orthopedic surgeon that cuts people open and fixes shoulders. That's what he does. This is his gig. So you're like, all right, cool. I got a good shoulder specialist, very credible orthopedic surgeon, blah, 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 blah. Guess what insurance covers? Cutting. Guess what it doesn't cover? Nexus letters. Like the guy's got to sit there and type or write or whatever he's going to do for an hour or two. That's not covered by any insurance, any Medicare. So it's cash money. If you don't have the cash, then don't file a claim. It's you're just going to lose. I'm going to save you a ton of time. Don't do it. Go get the money. Don't care where you get it. Oh, I don't have any money. Well, then don't file a claim. It's that simple. Borrow it. Do whatever you got to do to get it, but you're going to need it. It's a weird deal. Veterans are afforded this, ability to, introduce medical evidence from a private doctor. So do that. Take advantage of that. It's not like a loophole. It's just a thing. But you're going to have to go get it, and you're going to have to pay for it. It could be $500 for a Nexus letter or $5,000. Whatever. Figure out something. Whatever your budget is, figure out what it is and get it. You can. If you, like I said, if you can't afford to do this, then I wouldn't bother. Save up. Go, get into your daughter's piggy bank and get some money out of there, or wait a year or something like that. I'm just going to save you a bunch of time. If you need help, there's consulting companies out there that will help you with your claim and develop a strategy for you and get you in front of their doctors. FYI, those doctors also cost money up front, probably $500. So you're paying up front either way. And then if you want to go the cheap route, which I totally understand, you could do this yourself, but you're going to need to spell it out for the doctor. This is why I think it's better to find a VA-friendly doctor. What VA-friendly doctor means, like in this orthopedic condition example, you're going to search on your flip phone. Hey, what's up? Are you VA friendly? What that means is he knows how to write Nexus letters. He knows how to speak the VA's little retarded language, and he knows how to call out a diagnosis, diagnostic code, whatever that means translated to the VA. He's going to fill out a DBQ or something very similar, independent medical opinion, DBQ, whatevs. And he's going to be able to write the Nexus, and it's not like a hard thing to write. I could write a Nexus for you, but I'm not Dr. Combat Craig. I'm just Combat Craig. So at least as likely as not is the standard. So you could get this done yourself. You could try to get this done through a VA doctor. Good luck. VA doctors suck. They don't care. VA doctors, basically, they're unaccountable. They run around in this gigantic organization called the Veterans Health Administration, which, fun fact, we're like in this. I'm not even going to mention the whole. I'm so tired of saying the C word, but like cases are going up again. Did you know the Veterans Health Administration is the backup healthcare system for the entire country? That's scary. But anyway, VA doctors, they don't care. Basically, the best veteran is a dead veteran. The second best veteran is one that just quit fighting. So that's the way they're going to treat you. It's really hard to hold the VHA accountable. What you're doing is you're filing a claim with the VBA, the Veterans Benefits Administration. Don't spend too much time. Yes, VA doctors suck. If you're a VA doctor, you suck, guaranteed. If you haven't started sucking yet, you will. Give it time. Get better. That's what we would all like, you to just be better and not sucky, but whatever. I get it. You're in a big bureaucracy. So you may be able to get one of these guys to do it for free, but if you're going to do it yourself, I would educate yourself, understand what you're trying to do, and then go find a private doctor to write your nexus for you. And, bring him the DBQ and explain it. He may not be veteran friendly, but if you're hell bent on doing this yourself, which you should be, it's your claim. Nobody cares about it like you do. You should be able to take a doctor to task and to school and like, hey, dude, this is what I need. I need this, 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 and this. And it's like, yeah, you're a moron with a shoulder problem. Why are you telling me what to do? Yeah, do it. So you might have to pay them, throw them $100 or $500 or something. I don't know what doctors take for a tip. So I think that covers the make your claim easy to approve. Be specific and be complete. That's my my 2 cents. Well, chat's going pretty good. It's been a week or so. 66 people watching, 31 thumbs up. Need more thumbs up, people. But I appreciate the ones that we got. So simple truth number 2. Tell the VA where to find the evidence. Well, Craig, they're the VA. They should know where to find evidence. They're completely retarded. You're dealing with incompetent people that have red tape tied around themselves, and they have quotas on them, and it's like you're putting, when you have no choice. You file a claim. It's in the hands of a VA rater and a CNP examiner. Make it easy on the VA rater. This is like a $50,000 a year guy. It's going to give you the equivalent amount potentially per year tax-free till you drop dead. So he's not a lawyer and he's not a doctor and he's probably undertrained and probably doesn't care because he's a VA employee. Make his job easy and tell him where to find the evidence. Well, okay, cool. Where do you find the evidence? Well, if you're trying to establish direct service connection for your shoulder, you've been out for a while, whatever, a year, 10, harder when you have 10 years before you, between now and when you got out. But do not, just let them go rummaging through your service treatment records and your VA medical records. Go in there, print that shit off, and give them the paragraph that you need. They don't need like 25 pages. Well, all these service shoulder pain, shoulder tear. Perfect. One example of shoulder tear, the best one you have from 1989, that'll work. A couple follow-ups, recent follow-ups from the VA, that'll work. And your private doctor from your orthopedic surgeon. That's it. Tell them exactly where to find it. Give them all the evidence. Here you go. Let me spoon feed it to you, Mr. Rater, right? So take charge, give them all the evidence, and duty to assist is just a load of crap. They ain't going to assist you in doing anything other than failing. It's going to kick in regardless, but you want to minimize the effects of this duty to assist because it sucks. The third truth is, it's easier for you to obtain evidence than the VA. It seems, counterintuitive, kind of weird. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to file this claim. I've got my VA records. I've got my service treatment records. Should be good to go. No nexus. You got a loser right now. You need to point all this stuff out, and you're still going to need a private doctor. And I'm not saying 100% of the time. I'm saying 75% of the time. Get a private doctor. Go spend $500. Don't care where you get it. Don't care about your financial problems, because you're currently at 0 or 20, and this is going to elevate your claim. It's going to pay your $500 in like, 2-3 months, no problem. And then you get to get service connected for your shoulder. And then you get to start launching secondary service connections like migraines secondary to your shoulder, somatic symptom disorder, depression, anxiety secondary to your shoulder, GERD, hiatal hernia secondary to your shoulder, IBS for the meds that you take for the pain in your shoulder. Those are 30% claims, 30, 70, migraines, 50. Get service connected, start launching secondaries. We'll go into that in another video. You're going to get a CNP exam. You must go to the CNP exam. Anybody that tells you not to go to the CNP exam is a moron. You're going to prove your claim up. You're going to spend the money. You're going to give them all the relevant medical evidence that's going to be required to make a decision. And like 95% of the time, they're still going to send you to a CNP exam. Go to it. It's that simple. It's only the most important day in your VA claim. So you got to go. I don't care if you're stressed out. Oh, I got anxiety. Who gives a shit if your anxiety's nobody cares. You want to get paid. Go take your little anxiety problems and go handle business. How do I handle business? Review your disability benefits questionnaire. The VA doctor that you're going to go see, your CNP examiner, they're going to be on a computer checking boxes on a checklist. It's called a disability benefits questionnaire. Don't you think it would be a good idea for you to take a little peek at that and find out the answers to the test before the test happens? Filing a claim for migraines. Oh, okay, well, you have, it causes you to lay down twice a week. Okay, great. So how many times does it cause you to lay down? I don't know. Sometimes it's like 3 or 4 times a week. Well, if you say 3 or 4 times a month, if you say 3 or 4 times a month, you screwed yourself. You just got yourself a 30% instead of a 50. They are looking for once a week or more. So review the test, have the answers to the test, then you know how to play this game. Oh, yeah, well, it's kind of immoral or screw all that. These guys have been dicking us around for years. Now we know how to play the game. We'll cheat. We'll do everything we have to. You want me to go get medical evidence from a private doctor? Perfect. Now I have medical evidence. Now what? I have all the answers to your stupid little CNP exam. Now what? Do whatever you have to do. Educate yourself. Get your symptoms in line. Know what the hell you're doing. Give a shit about your claim. Filing a fully developed claim is the way to go. Cuts down on waiting time. Again, I kind of touched on this a little bit. You're dealing with somebody that's making 50 grand a year, and they want you to either be dead or to quit. So now you're there filing a claim. This isn't the brightest bulb in the bunch. They're VA Raiders, right? So, this guy's got a certain amount of time to adjudicate your claim. Just give them everything. It doesn't need to be 15,000 pages of everything. It needs to be the right amount of everything. However you're establishing a service connection, I don't think you're going to do a presumptive. You can do a pre-existing. It's either going to be direct. It's most likely going to be direct if you're focusing on an orthopedic claim. So give them 1 or 2 or 3 pages of examples of your active duty service shoulder stuff. Then give them a couple of examples of your VHA, your Veterans Health Administration records. And then hammer them with the real evidence, your private stuff. And that's it. Make it a fully developed claim and call it a day. So I'm going to hop over to the comments here. And I'm going to go take a piss break real quick. So I'm going to put a little... I can't see shit. Just a second. right, hit me with the questions. Hard questions are good. If you're a VA employee or a VA raider and you're like, oh, this Combat Craig guy's full of shit, perfect, hit me. I will attack you most likely because you're a sloth. But you're welcome to this conversation. You are part of the problem. I know there's a few of you that are actually good and care, and you're veterans, and you've gone through this yourself. So you guys hop in and ask questions. If you are like old school Vietnam guy, like, oh, you should have got out. The VA's fair. You guys are just gaming the system. You idiots come in here and leave a question. Don't lurk. Everybody's welcome. Ask all the questions. You are affiliated with a consulting company. Cool. Ask me questions about that too. Whatever. Let them rip. Let's go to those questions and throw a couple. And remember, I'm doing this live, so if you're just going rambling on, it's going to be hard for me to see these things. We got Tom Marine Vet. We got 0352 Double Dog in the house. Brooklyn Vet is probably 3 weeks of being a civilian. How's civilian life? Yeah, it didn't change much, huh? How's your claim going, man? Philip, what up? What's up, Michael? Yeah, it's been about a week. Yeah, so I made a bunch of videos and I backed off because I want to see. I'm all about this. The YouTube channel growth means tinkering, breaking, and seeing what the algorithm's going to do. So I was like hitting them with 2-3 videos a day. And now I'm just chilling. 1 or 2 videos a week, live stream. We'll get it dialed in. I have a members section. I'm going to be doing regular live chats in here. So click that little join button there. And I'm going to have a little behind the scenes area. It just supports me a little bit, you know, doesn't pay for my $700 camera body, but, you know, it helps. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. Subscribing helps. The more veterans I get in front of, the more I can help, I think. I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off too. Don't care. Channel growth is good. I've been on a good one for 1.5 years, so I want to continue. I appreciate the support. And then if you want to support me a little further, get some Combat Craig merch. All right, so Steven, finally able to catch a live broadcast. Good to have you. What's up, Robert? Yeah, I don't have my Clyde cam today. Sorry, guys. Carlos is another member of the 100% P&T Club. We call it the Hundo Club. The Hundo Club is where you're trying to go. I don't really care where you're at in the process. You're a veteran. You've had some hard times and stuff like that. If you aren't trying to get 100%, you're not trying hard enough and you're not looking at the right things. You need lots of body parts. Avoid pyramiding. Do not let your little shitty shoulder claim go. Start thinking about secondaries on top of your shoulder claim. You want MRI, as much objective medical evidence as possible. MRI, CT scans, things of that nature. I'm going to scroll all the way down. Got a couple of, got a super sticker from Camilla. Keep it up. Right on. Thank you. Remy, $5 super chat. Awesome. 0352 Double Dog in the house. Thank you for all you've done for me. It's been a pleasure helping you out and riding your ass and pounding this stuff into your head, man. All right, back up. Let's see where we're at. I guess I'll just start here. Jeff, what's going on? This is funny. Is the VA pay to play? You're damn skippy it is. You don't pay, you're going to pay by not getting paid. Absolutely. The VA is as crooked as it gets, dude. Get with the program, David. That's not what the recruiter said. You're funny, dude. Yeah, how are we supposed to expect people to respect the military if that's the case? Don't know, don't care. The VA is absolutely 150% pay to play. You pay, and hopefully you don't get a raider that's all crooked. You show up like a sheep, they're just going to slaughter your ass and not service connected, claim denied. They don't care. Go away, quit, frustrate, and die. That's the goal. Yep, pay to play all day long. What up, Jeff? Well, Tom has a better spin on it. VA's job is to deny, 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 and then die. I'm not going to argue with Tom, but I like that. They want you to play by their rules, which is show up like a sheep, get slaughtered, then you beat it because you're frustrated, and then eventually you go die. That's their rules. We're flipping the script on the VA. They don't. We're not playing by their rules anymore. We play by the law, and we are going to introduce medical evidence from a private doctor into this medical evidence battle, and we're going to beat your ass every time. Yeah, appointments are a pain in the ass. And I don't know the context here. I'm just going to hop in, give you my 10 cents, 2 cents. Still laughing. What? It's a Samsung too. Is this the Galaxy S9? So if you're not 100% permanent and total, or you're not 100% for over 20 years and protected that way, go to your appointments. If you don't go, you don't need to overgo, but you need to go. You need continuity of care. If you don't have it, they will reduce your ass. It's just, it sucks. The VA looks at it like, well, veteran failed to show up for appointment. Veteran quit showing up to appointments. Must be better. It's just the way they look at it. Play their game sounds like something you'd catch fraud charges for. No, absolutely not. Fraud charges are when you actually file a fraudulent VA claim. What I'm talking about is I'm a Desert Storm veteran and I've been suffering from combat PTSD since 1991. I had no clue what a mental health thing was. I had no clue what a PTSD was. Nobody gave a shit. I had to just live my life. So I did what I can. I got hammered all the time and I, went through life, and then I finally started learning about mental health stuff. Fraud is the VA giving up combat PTSD to me when I was 50 for something that happened when I was 19. That's fraudulent. Smash those likes. I love your questions, David. Yep, you're going to need medical records. It depends. So, there's a lot of this kind of reviewed the veteran's medical records. So it depends on what you're doing. If you're filing a direct service connection claim, then you're going to need some degree because it's direct service connection. So you're attaching your current disability to your active duty service. So you're going to need some kind of review, like literally, okay, I found a page. Like, give them a page. That would be considered review of medical evidence. On secondary service connection claims, you don't even need to deal with that. Your GERD is something you never even heard of. Now you got it because of the meds you take for your shoulder. Now you just need to document the severity of your symptoms. You do need some medical records, but you do not need your claims file in all cases. Get your claims file anyway, so you can figure out what these bastards are saying about you. But you do not need a whole ton of medical records prior to filing a claim. And I'm going to talk out of both sides of my head on this because I've done both. The last claim I filed when I won my 100% permanent and total, I had decent medical records in my VHA. I did have some service treatment records, but I did not have my claims file and review everything. That makes sense. Howdy, Raymond. Oh, you got shoulder issues. Yeah. And this is another thing. So it's like, wow, I got 80%. Am I just lucky? Like, yeah. Yeah. I was not service connected at all for 14 years, like totally my fault for not filing a claim and knowing the system. And then I walked in there like a little sheep and they just hacked me. I was 10% for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Finally, I got a little bit of a clue, got up to 60. Yeah, feel lucky because you are. But you know, it was based on medical evidence. Just we're not educated that this is a game. Wow, you know what's this thing with fraud? Yeah, like screw all that. Do whatever you got to do to prove your claim. The VA is fraud. Absolutely, Alex. 100% is the goal. If you're not 100%, you're not trying. Yeah, so letters from people you're deployed with do help. They are considered lay statements. They're buddy letters. They will help support your claim, but the foundational part of your claim needs to be, you know, if you're deployed with somebody and we're talking about combat PTSD, you need a stressor and you need to have it on your DD 214. The buddy letter will help, but you need the medical evidence there. You need the diagnosis too and the nexus. Like that's like 85% of it. When they have this thing called equipoise, something like that. It's the tie goes to the veteran. So you don't want to shoot for a tie ever because you can tilt the scales in your favor. Always go for, what is it, 80-40, 70-30. Always outnumber the VA with the amount of evidence you bring to the table. But a buddy letter at some point will weigh in. If you have a buddy that can speak to your disability, do it. Absolutely. Don't rely on it 100%. It's supporting medical evidence. And you should be submitting a 21, 41, 38 personal statement with every disability. Why would you not be explaining your disability? Like, stupid. This is your chance to speak. Don't speak a lot. Like, literally, 3 sentences is more than enough. Jeff's trying to get to 70 or 80. Don't have enough wrong with me anymore. Currently at 60. Yeah, I was at 60. I know I think you're 58. So you're a little older than me. I don't know if you've gone through everything. I don't know if you've done the sleep apnea or the sleep study. You probably had a colonoscopy. I don't know what was found. I don't know if you had a VA colonoscopy. I'm sure anyone, like, think about it. These are things that, like, it's a sleep study. Like, you have no, you either have sleep apnea or you don't. You have no control over this. So it's like, I got it. And they gave me the CPAP machine. You've moved you've escalated your claim up and you've proved it up a little more. IBS, you either have it or you don't. What's a good way to check that out? Colonoscopy. I don't know what a GERD one is. Hiatal hernia. Maybe you guys can tell me. Take it slow, bro. If your nurse practitioner or PA is a board certified psychologist, absolutely. I don't think that's the case. Typically, an NP and a PA are not. That's more on the medical side of it, the orthopedic stuff. But if they're a board certified psychologist, they could do it. But you kind of want a doctor for PTSD. But the law says medical qualified. I think it's like qualified medical professional. And in most cases, especially orthopedic stuff or like IBS, GERD, migraines, you know, those kinds of things, you can get a doctor, you can get a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant, and be prepared to see a nurse practitioner in your CNP exam or a physician's assistant. So they are qualified medical professionals. A physical therapist, a doctor of physical therapy, does not qualify. Joseph, what's up? Clean it up at the CNP. That's the whole goal. Kabila is who this is. If you want to throw your Facebook group in here, please do. Um, and watch, I'm going to start just going into this random conversation with her. So, a nurse practitioner under the supervision of a psychologist is what the M21 1 states. So, the M21 1 adjudication manual is what the VA raters go by. So, that's what it states. I agree with that. So, if they're under the supervision, I would just go with the doctor in this case, but you know, if you're under the supervision, I guess that works. Yeah, I'm going for B-rated porn. Porn is good. B-rated, A-rated. What's up, Shane? Yeah, dude, get your ass into the. Go tell them, and you need to have. I can't remember what it's called, but you need to go to your primary care. Some kind of. It's like some kind of means test, right? So there's like legal implications, but it's like you need to qualify for like 3 out of the 5 questions. So it's like, do you have a fat neck? Yes or no? You either do or you don't. They wrap a tape measure around you. You either do or you don't. Do you have like complaints of snoring or restless leg syndrome? Your wife told you you do or you don't. And then there's some other markers. The bar is not high to get a sleep study, but you do have to figure out what the bar is and then go cross it, like whatever you got to do. You got the problems, figure out what you got to say. Bog, chicka bog, bog. What's up, Tom? How's it going, homeboy? Adjustment disorder, moderate depression, anxiety. Couldn't find the code. Yep, go look for it. It's in there. I got adjustment disorder when I was kicked out. My Desert Storm started. I went downhill immediately. They decided I wasn't worth saving. They slapped adjustment disorder on me, and I got booted out with a general discharge under honorable conditions. So I couldn't get the GI Bill. Like I wasn't in any condition to do college anyway. But it's an honorable discharge. Adjustment disorder. I actually pointed that out in my last claim. Like, hey, do you want an exact date? Yeah, like try like my stressor date, and then a month after that, I got diagnosed with this adjustment disorder. I've had problems ever since. Key component to a PTSD claim, I would say there's a lot of important things, but uh, PTSD is all about the stressor. So don't get hung up on that too much either. And I get it. If you're a combat veteran and you just, whatever, you figured out that you've had a bunch of problems and you want recognition, I get that, but recognition is not compensation. So keep that in mind. Um, you can get a 70% rating for depression, major depressive disorder, and that's fine. That'll get you the compensation that you deserve and you've earned. If your stressor is weak, I would go the depression route. But the stressor would probably be the most important, then the diagnosis, they're all important. Nexus, diagnosis, stressor, they're all the same. They're 3 out of 4 huge components. All right, cruising through. Lyria, I've talked to you a little bit in the comments. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Hello. Thumbs up for Combat Craig. Perfect. This is the great thing about the VA. They're not going bankrupt. We give like financial aid to every shithole country we went and fought in. Uh, they got plenty of money for us. Don't worry about that. I get it. It's a joke. But the rabbit hole I'm going down is, well, this veteran over here is worse off than I am. Don't worry about him or her. That's him or her problem, right? You're not taking any money out of somebody else's pocket. The U.S. government has plenty of money. We print it left and right. They're not going to go bankrupt. We're good. Those tax-free checks are coming. Never had a hiccup. Nice, Tony. Cool. I hope you proved it up enough. All right. I see another question about pay to play. This is a good topic, but I need a drink and piss. So back to the music. All right, so let's see. How does pay to play work? Great question. It's a game. You may not think it's a game. Get with the program. You're in a game. So the game is you file a claim. You don't provide any kind of medical evidence why your current disability is linked to your active duty service. You don't know shit. So you file a direct service connection claim like a loser and you get denied. The game part is where you introduce either a direct service connection if you got it or a secondary service connection. Strategy is this is part of the game. You introduce a strategy. It's not game in the system, it's playing the game. And then you go get a private doctor to weigh in. You're saying this. Now you got a doctor with a diagnostic code, a nexus, severity of symptoms. That's how you play the game and win. Like game over. Bye, VA. Thanks for showing up. Let's see. You're raising money for my urology consult. What's in that cup? White Claw. Yep, I'm rocking the White Claw. Yep, got a baby bladder. Whatever, part of it. Okay, let's see. Trying to see where I was at. Yep, go to the stupid PTSD appointments and just kind of think of it like you're building medical evidence. So depending, and this is part of the game too. So you're building medical evidence by seeking treatment at the VA, VHA, continuing treatment to show your continuity of symptoms, but be smart about it. What are you going to actually do and show up for? Once every month or 3 months? What's that? I can't remember, the VA video teleconnect or whatever it is. That is something pretty much anybody could do. I could even do that. Show up and roll out of bed and show up for it. Going into like some big gnarly, group therapy for PTSD might not work. Look at what's all available to you and just do what's the minimum and what's going to work. I mean, getting logged. I'm about ready to go on the MOVE program for fat people. And they're like, oh yeah, we're going to have a bunch of questions for you. And they sent me this big book. Like, I'm not going to read all that shit. But I'm going to have to because I want to take this MOVE program seriously. Yep, always will be. What are you talking about, dude? This is the bomb. Yeah. If you have my phone number, don't call me ever, please. Thanks. Yep, paratrooper girl and Tom Marine vet are on the money. You have a 5-year reevaluation for PTSD. Depends on where you're at. My advice is tell them what's going on. Depending on what kind of medical evidence you have on file over the past 5 years, you may need to adjust because you are playing a game. So if you have underreported your actual symptoms, 70% means deficiencies in most areas of your work and social life. Like the next jump is you're 100% like crazy old man in a bathrobe flashing people. So 70% is what I have. What that's the most common PTSD rating. Pretty damn crazy. But if you haven't been reporting properly your suicidal thoughts or your suicidal ideation, for example, because you're embarrassed, quit being embarrassed and start talking about it. Start talking about your problems, and that would be my advice. Hopefully, you've been just reporting what's going on and you've been open with them. Not sure what you're talking about. Right on, Derek. Yep. The DoD uses and abuses us, and then the VA denies the compensation we deserve. So, what's pay to play? What is the status of things? This is the status. We signed up. We had no clue we were going to combat or getting jacked up. That's not why we signed up. We signed up for our own reasons, but we joined for the same. We joined to serve our country, right? 1%, right? That's what's left. And I'm not talking about the bikers. We're in a whole different club than those assholes. So we are in the 1% that actually gave a shit to serve our country, and we got abused. And then the VA is here to deny, and you're playing a game. So figure out, get your head in the game. That's would be my first step. It's not checkers or badminton. You're in a chess game, like strategy. It's all about strategy. If you have none, get a strategy. And this is kind of one of the VA's marketing tactics that they do. They don't tell us what to do, but they broadcast the fraud that's been found, like removing these DBQs. I don't have the OIG report off the top of my head, but it's like literally we sampled X amount of veterans and 50, there was some fraudulent activity, like out of 20 million veterans. And so they will point to fraud and people will just off the cut, oh, you look fine, Combat Craig. You're fraud. Okay, well, you know nothing about me and beat it because you're not a doctor and you're a jackass. So don't worry about the fraud part. I do agree with you. They do have a high denial rate. And I think fraud is way lower, way lower than this kind of hype on fraud. What's really happening is people just don't know how to talk about their problems. Again, suicidal ideation is the best one I could talk about. You know how long it took me to admit that I had suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation? Long ass time. Think I ever told my ex-wives that? No. What's up, Thomas? How's it going, man? If you have a C&P exam tomorrow, I would get the disability benefits questionnaire for the condition you're going to be seen for. And hopefully you know where your rating, where you think your rating should be, so you can review the checklist, because you're going to go in tomorrow and there's going to be a doctor like checking boxes. It'd be nice to know the answers to the questions, right? Yep, 13 years to get P&T. Took me 27. Christopher's 100% IU, TDIU. Last P&C exam was a nightmare. Now you just had another one with LHI. Yeah, yeah, that's another thing. another bullshit crooked move the VA did. So they just announced, like within the last month, that the VA is no longer going to be doing CNP exams in house. They're going to be doing them all with the big contractors: LHI, VES, QTC, and I can't think of the fourth one. I know there's a couple more. Don't know if this is good or bad. I've had poor CNP exams because I was clueless and poorly prepared at the VA, and then I also failed with private doctors. Unknown, but this is just another example of VA just kind of doing stuff. Nail it and go tell them your story. The VA is spying on my videos. They could use whatever they want against me, and I'm well aware of that. I put a target on my head for sure. Not only am I explaining, I'm just pissed. I don't get to file a Q claim because I just fucked up my entire life, and I'm not going down that road. So I'm pissed. I figured out how to fight these bastards. So I made this channel to encourage you guys to like get a clue and go fight for yourself. Can they use what I say against me? Yeah, good luck. I mean, I'm 100% permanent and total. I'm sitting here in my basement with my 40 right over there, my ARs in the corner. I got security cameras lined all around. Like I'm a mess. Uh, they could, but I'm not really that worried about it. I mean, I'm 100% permanent and total. There's no fraud. I'm a combat veteran. Like I got issues, and I finally figured out that I have issues, so I'm not worried about it. And somebody needs to speak out, right? Education is key. Absolutely. Right on, Mike. Thank you. We've talked before, Tom. You know, you were denied SSDI, but 100% PNT with VA. How can I get approved for SSDI? What is it they want? So SSDI is Social Security Disability Insurance. It's a whole nother gigantic, retarded bureaucracy. You're going to need to figure out how the Social Security looks at veterans, but the little Cliff Notes version is with Social Security, you're either 100% or you're zero. There's no scale like with the VA. Your records that you use to get 100% PNT pretty much are irrelevant. I mean, they may use them. I wouldn't rely on it. Get private doctors for the Social Security stuff. If you've been denied, I'd get a lawyer. Lawyers are good with this kind of stuff. Social Security, find out why you were denied too. You might not have paid into the system enough to even qualify. There's a lot of things, but again, this is about you and not about what somebody else did. So just because somebody else got 100% permanent and total and won their Social Security disability insurance claim doesn't mean you will. Different claims, different organizations. Yep, Tom's 38 years. Yeah, you should hire me to go into my local VA regional office, and I will clean house of all you clowns. Losers. Yeah. So anxiety with the routine future exam. It's going to happen. I'm diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. So I I live with anxiety and I pop Xanax. VA doesn't give it to me because they don't believe in Xanax anymore. 1.5 milligrams a day for like the last 12 years. That stuff is a godsend. So I know all about anxiety and like the buildup of wanting to go file a claim, filing the claim, and like, oh shit, now I got to deal with the CNP exam. Like, suck it up, Buttercup. You want to get the compensation you deserve. You need to go tell your story. You need to nail it, and you need to be prepared. And I mean, there's just no way around it. If you have severe mental health issues, you're gonna have to tell those things to like, you guys got to go on hold. I got a claim to file. Just retired after 22 years. I don't know what CAR and AFCAM are. If it's on your DD214, it doesn't matter what those acronyms mean. Your DD214 is a huge piece of combat PTSD. That's it. It's like, this is where you serve. Like, that is, that actually could work. I mean, that puts you in the time and the place. You put yourself in the time and the place with your stressor statement. I'd still get a diagnosis from an outside doctor, but you probably could get away with not doing it. If you prove your claim up enough and you're a combat veteran, your DD214 and your stressor can do it, but you're going to need some kind of current symptoms. And the VA sure as hell not writing down how screwed up you are if you're even bothering going to them, because they suck and it's a waste of time. The colonoscopy likes getting up in there. Get a colonoscopy. It's funny and it's laughable. I truly can't work for anybody. Authority has been a problem. Like Desert Storm started. It's like, I got a whatever jackass in the Air Force. Like, got kicked out. Every job I've had since then, I've gotten fired from. I've wanted to beat the shit out of every boss that I've had. I am not compatible with human beings. I do not take well to authority, although I'm not a complete idiot. Like, whatever. I'm a human being, American citizen. It's not like I'm out there breaking the law and getting caught. I do know that law enforcement will change that. But yeah, I can't work for anybody. No way. No. GERD is gastroesophageal reflux disease. The VA actually calls it hiatal hernia. The way I explain it is GERD is something that you'll get from like medications like Motrin. Constant use, that is enough to start a GERD claim. It's kind of like the, down to your belly button, your throat, and then your gut. And then IBS is kind of like your ass and stuff like that. So it's, you can have IBS and GERD at the same time, but that's the best way I could explain it. Yes, this is prescribed by me. My dog prescribed me. Mm-hmm. I made a video about this too. And I'm an equal opportunity. I got kicked out straight up. So other guys got kicked out. More criminal activity, obviously, depending on bad conduct, dishonorable discharge, and whatever. You obviously you got popped. So that happened. But you were in the military, like you made it through boot camp and all that stuff. And something happened to you, and the military is partially responsible for your actions. So you don't need to upgrade a general under honorable conditions discharge, but you do with other than honorable, bad conduct, and dishonorable. And you are not erasing that you got sent to Leavenworth and you committed crimes. You're changing the narrative reason. And you need to get that upgraded. And if you have like PTSD or some mental health problems, that's a good reason. They even say like homosexual activity. Like, how stupid is that? But like in the 70s, that wasn't allowed, right? Don't ask, don't tell. So that's another reason. If there's any, like if you got kicked out for homosexual activity, that's an easy one to win. You could change the narrative on that all day long. Soaking up the wisdom. Speaking of whatever Sean was saying, I got to go take another piss break. Just a second. Intermission. I saw a question about who can help you with a VA claim. I'm not going to put it up because I can't remember, but I want to talk about it. So you got a couple options. So you could do it yourself and understand it thoroughly and get everything that you need and do it yourself and win. Um, or so that's like option one. You can get a consulting company of some sort, VA Claims Insider, Vet Comp and Pen. There's Veterans Guardian. There's a bunch of them out there. I'm sure all of them are equally capable. What they're doing is they're charging you a percentage of your back pay, and they're getting you in front of their doctors, and they're going to give you some coaching and give you a shoulder to cry on and all that stuff. I actually went down that road with VA Claims Insider, and it worked for me. Um, so that scenario, you're going to win your claim up front and not have to go the lawyer route. So that's another route. You get a lawyer after you get denied. You get a lawyer. He goes in and fights for you, and you drag it out for 5 years, and you finally win. You get back pay. So there's a couple different ways to do it. One of the Camila, I can't remember her thing on here. She is an accredited agent. That's worth talking about as well. A good accredited agent is a ace in the hole for you. The problem is the good ones like her. She's taken up. I guarantee you, she's booked. So a shitty VSO like I had 3 times. I'm not a big fan of VSOs. They're not doctors like VA writers, they're not lawyers. They kind of know the system because they're like 8,500 years old and they've been laying around it for a while and they kind of know how it works, but they don't know how to get you to a doctor. And I don't, whatever. There's different levels of VSOs. But accredited agents work in a certain parameter and they're only allowed to do certain things, get involved in certain areas. And then there's this kind of old other cowboy kind of way to do it where all these veteran consulting companies are. I don't care what works. I don't care if you have to pay 10 grand like I did or whatever. Find something that works. Do as much vetting as you possibly can. Accredited or non-accredited, there's laws going on, but you're driving the bus, regardless of what's going on, whether you sign over a power of attorney or not. Um, your VSO isn't going to give a shit about you. Your attorney isn't. Your accredited agent, your whatever consulting company, they don't care. They're making money from you one way or another. And once the money's gone, they don't care about you anymore. So you need to be in control of your own claim. Figure out what's going to work for you. Educate yourself. Talk to other guys. Just remember, if I'm like, hey, use this veteran consulting company, that definitely doesn't mean that my experience is going to be the same as yours. So, rabbit hole. Yeah, those priority groups. I was in the zero priority group. Yep. If you're going for a PTSD claim, you need to nail down your stressor and you need to look at it because you are playing a game and you're playing a chess game, right? So if it's combat PTSD, is it on your DD-214? If not, your shit's weak. If you have military sexual trauma or PTSD from like a car accident or something that's non-combat PTSD, how strong is it? You're going to have to prove it. The burden of proof is on you, the veteran. So, do you have a police incident? Was it in the news? Military sexual trauma is way worse because people get raped and sexually assaulted, and the last thing you're going to do is go report it to your boss, who's the guy that raped you. So, less medical evidence there. There's leeway, but you're going to need to evaluate, where my stressor is and how strong it is in every case of a PTSD claim. Happy belated Veterans Day. Question: when did the VA stop doing the CNP? Still fighting? So basically, A couple of weeks ago, another little sneaky bullshit thing the VA did was they're like, "Hey, we've decided to roll out C&P exams to the contractors. Like, we're not doing them anymore. Like, this wasn't Congress didn't approve this. Like, a congressional member was like, "What the hell are you guys doing, you clowns? You guys take away DBQs, you remove C&P exams. Again, don't know if it's good or bad." But they just do shit because nobody holds them accountable, even though there's like, oh, they're accountable. They're not. They do whatever they want. So this happened a couple of weeks ago, but the reality is the last two CNP exams over the last 8 years were private contractors. I don't really have an opinion with private contractors or in person at the VA. What I will say is you need to prepare for your exam, not the examiner. It doesn't matter if the guy works for Mickey Mouse. You go in there, you know your disability, you proved it, you got a private doctor to say whatever and back you up, and you study the DBQ. You know your symptoms, you know the severity of your symptoms, and you're not going to go in there and be afraid to talk about suicidal ideation. If you got that shit, talk about it. Boom, case closed. Okay, going through from Staten Island, right on. Isolation needs to be teased out more. It's not conducive to getting approved. Isolation needs to be teased out into a thing, but it's a symptom, and you need to be able to talk about what your isolation is like, how it affects your social and work life. It really comes down to how has your isolation and your hatred for people and your uncomfortable, wanting just not wanting people to be around you. How's that been on your marriage? How's it been with your kids? If you don't like people, you like I don't have kids or wife or anything. And then the other part is the work life. What's that like in your work life? Anything could be reduced unless you're permanent and total, or I think if you've had the same rating for 20 years. Good, Christopher, and that's the point I'm trying to make about LHI, VES, and QTC. I don't have an opinion. It doesn't matter. They're gigantic. Those contractors now are going to get even better. They're going to swell up even more. So it all comes down to you nailing the CFP exam. It doesn't matter, QTC probably has a huge mental health. And by the way, these doctors, private contractors, they all get paid and they make money from you, right? So everybody's making money. Everybody's getting rich and making money off veterans. I wouldn't worry about LHI. I would prepare for your exam. You're good. I don't think it's going to be. You'll find out uh, if it's better or worse. But I still think it's comes down to if you're going to nail your CMP exam or not. Disability benefits questionnaires. Google them. They're around. They're not on the VA website anymore. Different organizations are putting them up. I made a video about one. I know CCK, they're veterans lawyers. They put DBQs back up on their website. I'd check them out. Do some research. Google is your friend. Don't believe everything that you see on the internet or hear, like me. Like, definitely don't believe me. I'm crazy. But check, what is it? Trust, but verify. Check and verify, whatever that phrase is. Vet serve, that might be VES. And they do it on Saturday a lot. And yeah, that's actually one of the things. I don't know if the VA, when they're doing CMP exams, I don't know if they did them on the weekends, but I do know that the private contractors do that to kind of work around your work. So that's good. Q claim is a clear and unmistakable error claim. It's not really a claim, it's just a Q. Wish you had your guns. Yep, your guns won't be taken away. If you're 100% PTSD, crazy as a lark in your bathrobe, your guns are fine. Uh, See this a lot too. And if you're law enforcement and you're watching me and you're worried about working, um, the fact that you have PTSD is a disability, just like a wheelchair helps you because you can't walk. So be careful who you talk to and what you say to them. But just because you have a 100% rating of any kind, especially if it's 100% for PTSD, they cannot take your guns away. Your guns get taken away when you do stupid shit with your guns. So follow your state laws, your city laws, all that kind of stuff, and you're good. You go waving your gun around, you're going to get your shit taken away. It's like it has nothing to do with your VA rating. Yeah, I've tried Bacardi quite a bit. I have a, Proton Mail account. Good point, Dave. Um, if you're on Facebook and YouTube and like cut it out, stop it. Like create a fake account and do that. Do not use your real name on social media. It's Google and Facebook and Amazon. Like Amazon, I guess you got to use your real name. But with Google and Facebook, do not use your real name, people. I mean, it's 2020. It's almost 2021. You Gmail, they're all up in your business. Use a Proton Mail account. Absolutely. Thanks, Outdoor Andy. Yeah, but it's the lesser of both evils, right? You know, everything's bad for your liver or bad for your brain. It's a trade-off. I was talking about taking Xanax for a prolonged period of time. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably going to be bad for me, but I don't care. Without that stuff, it'd be a problem. Almost true, Dave. You don't always get denied the first time. If you know what you're doing, if you show up in your little badminton outfit where you won your VA claim, you show up with that outfit on for your Social Security claim, yeah, they're going to kick your ass. But if you prepare, yeah, you're not going to, not everybody loses their Social Security disability claim first time out of the gate. QTC is fine. 8 years, about 19 years less. Yep, I appreciate my back. Brazil would be cool. Closest I ever got was Panama. Probably not too close. Desert Storm? I don't know. I want to get on one of those space flights. Not sure. VSOs are out there. Go look on Facebook with your fake Facebook account. Okay. Sorry. I actually have the combat action ribbon, so I should have known that one. That'll help for sure. It's in my it was in my claims file. Um, but yeah, your DD-214 will be enough. But good point. Yes, these things will help. And I don't know which one I have actually. I don't know if I have the Air Force Combat Action Medal or I think I have the Combat Action Ribbon. I know I had the like ribbon. I think I had like, I don't know, whatever. That was a long time ago. Okay, hiatal hernia. Yep, that's what GERD is claimed, or that's what they call it. Um, yes, they are all contracted outside of the VA, apparently, because the VA just does whatever the hell they want. Uh, what's beneficial to the veteran is you being prepared for your C&P exam. I think I've covered that extensively tonight. If you walk away from anything or with anything, prove your claim, give a shit about your claim. I don't care about your claim. I want you to win, but I do not personally, the outcome of your claim does not have any kind of financial impact on me. And I know what it's like to be a loser for a long time. So I already know what that's like. I know what lots of mental health problems are like. And I forgot where I was going with this. The exam is the most important. That's where I was going. So C&P exams are the most important day. Most important thing is proving your claim. The burden of proof is on the veteran, which is you. VA ain't giving you anything. they'll like, come on in here, Mr. Veteran. We'll hook it up. Yeah, that's bullshit. You need to prove your claim with medical evidence. Then they're most likely going to send you to a C&P exam. You better know what the hell that's all about and go nail it. It doesn't matter if it's an outside contractor or in the VA. You need to nail it, whoever it is. I don't give a shit if Mickey Mouse is doing your C&P exam. You need to convince him this is where you're at. Your knee doesn't feel sturdy. Is your knee service connected? Yeah, I was talking about this with somebody. So like dealing with the VA is PTSD, and as I agree, no, it's not. It needs to be active duty service. But that's kind of the gist of it. Dealing with the Veterans Health Administration is a mental health. It's a mind fuck for sure. You're going to have to get through it, figure out what works for you. The most hands off you could do. I wouldn't go into these big combat PTSD group circle jerk things. I'd go in, see your shrink, and do the minimum requirements. They're not going to help you. The pills they give you, nothing helps. It doesn't. It's PTSD. You're going to live with it for the rest of your life. So figure out what works, and yeah, you're probably going to have additional PTSD dealing with the VA. Mm-hmm. It is small. Yep, I'm supporting the claim. I got to take a piss again. I'm not going to sit here and piss in the Gatorade bottles. I could just put on the my little break screen. Okay, let's see. Yeah, secondary claims can get you to 100 a lot faster. That's how you win. Take your existing service-connected disabilities and file secondaries. It's just service-connected. So if you file a secondary claim at the end of the day, it's just service-connected. Yeah, secondaries are, yeah, I was at 10% for my for my left foot, and I cranked up my left foot to include my right foot, ended up with 50, and then on top of that, I got a 60% for chronic fatigue syndrome. So 110 just on my little 10% foot. I don't think the chronic fatigue syndrome was a secondary, or I know it wasn't. I got that at the C&P exam by QTC, so that was fair. But the right foot, secondary to my left, it's all about secondaries. Okay, one more break, and then we'll finish it up. All right, we're getting close to the end. It's been an hour and 22 minutes. We have 104. Let me show you my behind the scenes stats. So here's my desktop. Got my little stuff that I talk about, and I can see this is the way I see the chat. So super chat helps me, but it pops up on the screen. I try to get to as many questions as possible. Somebody just subscribed. But I have the attention span of a gnat. It's part of my mental health conditions and probably part of my human nature as well. So I try to answer as many questions. If I skipped over you, please hit me in another comment. Without you guys, this channel would be nothing. I appreciate all your support and all that kind of stuff and continued support. And let's just keep doing this. And you got to learn what you got to learn to file your claim. It comes down to, it's that simple. You may be getting the silver bullet right now, which is great. Don't doubt that. Like, wow, I finally woke up. I'm playing a chess game. I need medical evidence. Run with that. But I would caution you against running to your Vietnam veteran uncle or whatever. If his head's not in the game, you're probably not going to get the same kind of output that you have right now. Throw the suggestion out there to a veteran that you may have this kind of, well, that guy's worse off than I am. That may be the case, but every veteran is individual. And if they're not ready to take on this fight, then they're just not ready. They're not going to win. Your head needs to be 100% in the game. If you're not ready to go beat these guys up, you're going to lose. 10 for tinnitus, 20 for back, 30 for feet, 0 for thumb. My response is somatic symptom disorder, a mental health claim for your back and your feet, maybe an increase on your feet if you're moderately severe instead of moderate. Your thumb's worthless. I would go with mental health. I'd get a sleep study done, see if there's any sleep apnea creeping in. Hiatal hernia, IBS, migraines, chronic fatigue syndrome. I'd look at some other things, and you may not even know what any of these things are, which is fine. Go get tested for them. You may live with IBS and not even know what constipation and diarrhea is all about because it's just part of your life. Like, who are you going to complain to? Your asshole's on fire all the time. Well, you can complain to the VA by way of an IBS claim. Boom. BVA. You're paying up. At one way, this kind of goes, and I'm hopping in the middle of your conversation, but I get the gist. You're either going to pay at the CAVC level, the BVA level. You're paying. Like, one way or another, you're paying. You're paying cash money, or you're going to lose your claim. So get your head wrapped around that. I don't care if you think you're an entitled special snowflake veteran. You're paying whether you like it or not, one way or the other. So you might as well pay up front, and you can skip all the BVA and the CAVC stuff and walk away with 100%. Security forces in the house. What's up, Dad? How's it going, Ryan? I don't know if you had a boy or a girl, but you're probably 2 weeks into this fatherhood thing, right? Well, let's see. You're at 80% now. You're trying to claim PTSD. You applied online. It says you need more detail and some evidence. So if you're new around here, let me take you to school. You applied online. You just sound like if you were a sheep, I'd have your ass slaughtered and hanging from a hook. You're easy prey. Quit being prey. You're just going to get your ass kicked. You need some detail and some evidence. Like, go get a private board certified psychologist to diagnose you with PTSD, describe where your PTSD came from, and the severity of your symptoms. And you're going to pay money, and it's cash money, and you're probably going to pay $500 to $2,500. That's the kind of evidence that you're going to need, or you're just going to get your ass kicked. But if you're at 80% now, and just try to hop back in here, if you're at 80% now and you don't have a mental health rating, that is the easiest way to 100, because you probably walk away. You do the mental health claim right, you're going to walk away with 70, and that'll get you to 100. Oh yeah, we have Thanksgiving coming up, huh? Hearing loss is a loser. Don't waste your time on hearing loss. There's a couple guys in here that have been wearing hearing aids since they're in their 20s. So they get a 0% rating. And that's it. Like, tough shit. You're 23. Your hearing's destroyed. Here's hearing aids. Pop these in. Here's your 0%. Now beat it. Figure out what a loser VA claim is and spend zero or comparable effort on that claim. Hearing loss is a loser. Unless you're completely deaf or your ears cut off, I wouldn't even work with it. Mental health or something else is the way to go. Oh, okay. So yeah. So the contractors are 7 days a week. Best way to 100 is to prove your claim, figure out what's wrong with you, and get a doctor to agree with what's wrong with you. I don't know. I haven't. I need to get my grill checked out. It should be 100%. It should be 100% free, but who knows? Lots of things should be. If you're getting into, I can't remember what that periodontal surgery and stuff. I don't know. They should cover it all. Bilateral hearing loss is usually zero. Absolutely, it's a loser. Beat it. Go focus on something that's going to pay you. I think max for headaches, it's either 50 or 100. What can you expect for your tinnitus connection? Just go tell them, hey, this ringing in my ears started on active duty service. That's it. Just stay consistent. Do not deviate from your story and tell them your story. Okay, so max is 50. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and that's it. You're all asking good questions. I'm giving you little smart ass answers, but I do that on purpose because uh, what's a Google? Like, fucking figure out what a Google is. Like, Google that shit. Same thing with your claim. Again, we all want you to be successful and win your claim, but you need to get on board with your own success. If you're too old to research the internet, then figure it out. Like, get somebody that knows how to use a phone or a computer and educate yourself. Watch these videos. Watch the lawyers, the blog posts, Facebook groups. Lots of smart people. You're going to need to just go full 100% immersion into this. This is not something you want to half-ass. There's way too much money on the line to just go in here like, oh yeah, I'm just going to half-ass. I'm a veteran. What's up, man? Pay me. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. They don't care. You have to prove it. What up, Donald? Yeah, Clyde's in the back. Yes, I make a living at being 100% permanent and total. The super chats and stuff do help. But again, I don't live in Manhattan in a penthouse either. I live in Idaho, so it's not very expensive out here. This channel is a mental health therapy for me, believe it or not. Weed helps. Just be careful. Just know, weed's not federally recognized or legal. They're not going to use it against you. I'm not a very good stoner. I don't really like weed that much, and that's just me. I represent 50% of the people. I just get too high and can't function. More of a drinker than a smoker, if that makes sense. But they're probably not going to use it against you, and it's probably pretty close to being federally legal. But until that happens, I'm not going to be telling them about smoking weed. Yep. If you're at 0% service connected, you can start lobbing on. You can file 35 secondaries. Don't do that. You only want to file 2 or 3. Now you're dealing with a moron VA raider. Yeah, you can file anything that's service connected at 0% or above. Secondaries all day long. St. Lou, Boston's in the house. All right, guys. Looks like we're kind of wrapping it down. Good live show. I'm probably gonna start doing this like once a week instead of once a night. Hopefully you learned something. if I didn't answer your question, hit me up in the comments. This thing's going to turn from a live video into a published video, and hit me up there. And if you're watching the replay, keep asking questions. I'm not good at a lot of things, but I'm pretty good at like giving some kind of answer to the questions. So with that, I'm going to roll out, and I'll see you guys in a week or so. Combat Craig out.